ask if you landed on the detail if it was active.
It is almost 12:29. Any minute now, the big reveal. Crowd is big, ready to go.
You guys remember that QAnon group that showed up in Dallas waiting for JFK to show back up at the scene of his gruesome assassination somehow, and come back and take the throne of the United States as Donald Trump in some kind of way? I'll get to why all of that makes sense to some of these folks. But ever since those prophecies and predictions didn't come true, many people with this QAnon group did eventually go home. Happy to hear that at least, but some still hung around and decided to keep getting their bank accounts emptied by this particular man, Michael Protzman. He's also known as Negative 48 with this group. He's one of these QAnon leaders, and he continues to keep his flock listening to him by these explanations as to why Donald Trump is JFK or JFK is Donald Trump. Watch, listen to this.
The future governor of Arizona, she gave her speech, and before she gave her speech, they showed a news clip of her talking to prostitutes and swamp monsters, and she is the real deal. And of course, she's Trump endorsed and JFK endorsed, so she's the real deal. He brought her up again just so you can see how tall he was in relationship to how tall she is. So you could tell it wasn't Trump.
It's weird. So JFK was posing as former President Trump on stage, and he was a little too short to not be the real one, so obviously it's JFK. That makes sense. There's a reason why he says these things to these particular followers. Here's another one who has an expanded view of how this all works. This will really sell it. You guys are gonna wanna join this group after this. Watch, listen to this woman.
I am here because I believe at 11:55, JFK Jr. will be our new vice president, and President Trump will be our president. They will get that from a very much, at the time, on January 9th, the Insurrection Act was signed by President Trump, and in doing so, he could return the office, he could hand it over to a former president, and he handed it over to President John F. Kennedy. He did not die that day.
He didn't?
And on my Q-mobile, if you go out there, you'll see a picture of President Trump and President John F. Kennedy, September 11, 2020, at the Pennsylvania Fields. And there's a picture on that Q-mobile of them.
JFK would have been like 103.
Great, he's 103.
Okay.
I believe that at 11:55, President Kennedy, via some way, because JFK Jr.
Kennedy Sr., Kennedy Jr.
Kennedy Sr. will turn over the presidency. So Trump will be 19th president. JFK Jr. is 19th. It's already happened.
You guys, it's already happened. It's already happened. I was trying to take notes, but this is some deep detail things that she's going through. So JFK is apparently Junior, and he's also Trump. I don't know, it doesn't matter. These are the type of people that are targeted here, but the numbers are dwindling and things are starting to unwind. That is the new updates. That one was also in Dallas that day. So let's hear more about these the troubles that's happening amongst QAnon folks. I'm not sure who they can follow anymore at this point. So the latest conspiracy theory that the group has clung on to is that the Ukraine war is part of a plan to uncover President Joe Biden's criminality and replace him with JFK, who is very much alive and hiding in plain sight. He's just disguised as Trump, as we pointed out there. Protzman's predictions have torn families apart, according to Vice here, leading husbands to divorce wives and children to disown parents. Followers have also been left destitute after donating all of their money to this group. Protzman has also claimed that a coming global reset will wipe out all of their debts. That's probably one way that he told them to clean out their bank accounts and run up all of their credit card bills, is that it's all gonna go up anyway because there's gonna be this global reset for some reason. Also, the group has dwindled in size from over 100 to just over a few dozen, and that's in recent weeks. The group has split into at least 3 factions, each splintered group making wild allegations against the others. Several members of these groups were armed and some have made threats of violence against members of other groups, so it's getting real. The Protzman splinter of these divisions, they'll be meeting up again this weekend with a large group of supporters when they attend Trump's latest rally in Commerce, Georgia, Saturday. And they'll be joined by one of the splinter groups, which is led by a woman named Shelley, who was one of Protzman's most loyal lieutenants until he suddenly kicked her out earlier this month. So the factions are all going crazy. Now, the one thing before we break happens here with these groups is they're now hitting the DC trucker events, which are also dwindling as well. They're going to Trump rallies and they're trying to recruit new people to be a part of the cult because some people were wise to it when they didn't see JFK show up or Jr. or Trump or one of them, who knows. But he does go there and he has this script that he writes on any whiteboard he can find to tell them about why his crazed lunatic type of thoughts are reality. This is where the QAnon group stands currently. Splintered, violent, angry at each other, not knowing who to follow because JFK ain't showed up yet.